What's up, you guys? It's your girl Michelle from straightfromtheA.com, and we're going to dive into the recent red table talk between Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. As you know, August Alsina has come forward to say that he and Jada had an ongoing affair and he was heartbroken and had to walk away after he realized that Jada and Will were never going to part. After much internet speculation about the relationship, Jada Pinkett Smith has now confirmed it was all true. Let's listen.
Well, for me, just all the stuff that's going on in the press.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was important to come to the table to really clear the air. Somebody made a statement for me that wasn't a statement I made that went cray cray.
And one of the reasons why I wanted to come to the table is the media, the headlines. We specifically never said anything.
Yes.
We were purposely not saying anything. Any headline that says Jada said or Will said or the Smith said is not true. We've specifically never said anything.
Right.
So coming to the table was like, we just felt like it got to the point where you got to say something.
Yeah. And to stop that cycle.
Yeah.
You know, there's people's feelings involved.
Right. Right.
You know, and at the end of the day, I don't like how all of this came to be. That doesn't matter. It's all love, honestly. And I would usually not, you know, that would be something I wouldn't comment on at all.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's
business.
Yeah. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
But, you know, I feel like it's healing that needs to happen. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
Even though this is minuscule, I do feel like it's these kinds of things that create the world that we're in. And the idea of not communicating, not talking about it, not clearing the air, and just being as transparent. Just being transparent.
And I'm here with you.
Yeah, I thank you for that, because you've been on a hell of a journey with me. So that's what we're going to start with. This is a very personal journey.
Yeah.
Do y'all want to watch the whole 12 minutes?
Yes,
no?
absolutely.
For whatever reason.
So what happened, Jada?
No.
Okay, so let's start with
No, I don't watch the whole thing, but let her talk right here. I want to see what she
4.5
said.
years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was about 4 years ago. Started a friendship with August. And we actually became really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help. You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state.
Because for me, that was the thing when Aug first came around, he was really sick.
He was really sick. Yeah.
And the outpouring for him from our family was initially about his health.
Yeah. And I mean, we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull him through. And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided.
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy.
Well, at that particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah, I really felt like we could be over.
We were over.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August. And one thing I want to get clear about and clean up, one of the things that was kind of swirling in the press about you giving permission, which is, you know, the only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker, which he's not.
I think so. I mean, because this is your red table and you like brought yourself to the red table. I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened.
Yeah. And then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship.
Yes. It was a relationship. Absolutely. I was in a lot of pain and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say we did everything that we could to get away from each other, only to realize that that wasn't possible.
So we come into the red table. So I'm in the Jada position right now. So,
Okay.
you know, you during that time launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It had been so long since I felt good.
Yeah.
And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with my codependency, which is another thing that I had to learn to break in this cycle. Just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people that need help, whether it's your health or whether it's your addictions. There's something about that childhood trauma that feels as though it can be fixed through fixing people versus fixing me.
Yeah.
And I think that that whole process with Aug really showed me that and taught me that. And I'm really grateful for that lesson.
I feel like that husband, like I'm with you at the press conference. I'm that husband. Now I got to be with you at the press conference while you like tell the world about your transgressions.
Well,
Like I love my baby. I'm gonna stand by my baby no matter what.
Well, you know, I definitely understand why it would look that way or feel that way, but I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all. Through that particular journey, I learned so much about myself and was able to really confront a lot of emotional immaturity, emotional insecurity, and I was really able to do some really deep healing. You know, and as I came through and started to realize certain things about you and I, he decided to break all communication with me, which was totally understandable.
Right.
And I let that be and hadn't talked to him since.
Right.
So it is a little weird that all this stuff is coming out now, since this was
because for me this was years ago, right? You know, so the fact that it's coming up now, and I think it could feel weird for people that we're laughing and talking about it, but
it happened so long ago.
You know, and our experiences of working through it, fighting through it, talking through it, therapizing through it. I think that the why now is weird.
Yeah. When I say it's been a huge healing on my life and just what I had to confront and discover, you know, about myself, the ugly truths and the beauty. So it was something that I felt like wasn't really ready to be discussed because it hadn't been that healing, because he hasn't wanted to, you know, Aug and I haven't talked in so long, you know what I mean? So I don't know, this all seemed very strange, you know, but I'm grateful for the journey that you and I have had together. Because I feel like there are a lot of couples that go through those periods and a lot of couples that have to separate and think it's over. And, you know, the one thing I'll say about you and I is that there's never been secrets.
Right. We came together young and we were both broken in our own ways, and to be able to make mistakes without the fear of losing your family is so critical.
Yeah. It's the idea of any relationship and trying to get to deeper understanding of love is going to be forged in fire.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things that I'm deeply grateful in this whole process between you and I is that we have really gotten to that new place of unconditional love.
Because I wasn't sure I was ever going to speak to you again.
I know.
Yeah, like the fact that I'm speaking to you again is a miracle.
I would agree.
No, but it ain't for the weak at heart. There's just certain things that you have to go through, and it's like.
And I wish, I wish that wasn't the case. I do. I wish that wasn't the case.
I sure wish it could be all magic and miracles.
Yeah. You got to go through some to get the answers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just happy because I definitely believe that you and I, we never, ever, ever thought that we would make it back.
There's a real power in just knowing somebody's riding with you no matter what.
Yeah.
And you really can't know that
until you go
through some stuff, I don't want to go through this no more.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Yeah. I'm going to get you back first, and then...
You're going to get me back. I think you got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay, that's probably true.
But, and I don't think it's about getting anybody back.
No, for me it is.
Okay. I'll give you that petty if that's what you want. But, I will definitely say it's just part of it.
Yeah.
If you expect to be with somebody for a lifetime.
25 years and counting.
We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
Damn, that's corny.
That's terrible.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
But yeah, it's just part of the journey.
I told you the first year we were married.
What'd you tell me?
That I can love you through anything.
And I didn't believe you.
Yeah.
If somebody looked through a crystal ball and said, this, and this is going to happen, I'd be like, no way.
Yeah. You thought I was that I didn't have the girth that it was going to take to ride with you through.
Yeah. I didn't know if you would be willing to find the deep capacity to love me.
Yeah. How am I doing?
You're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're awesome.
A whole high five. We ain't get no kiss. We ain't get no kiss.
They ain't there yet.
Whole high five. I sent.
They not there yet.
Oh no.
Listen, marriage is a work. Marriage is a.
I'm muting everybody right now. I'm muting everybody because I got to tell you what I feel because I already know that Powerful about to get in because she going to be all on Jay. I'm telling you, they practiced this speech. When she went and said, I'm bringing myself to the red table talk, they had already sat down and talked about it because that was like a day or two after August had said what he said. They done sat down, they done practiced, they done got with their PR person. Will is the breadwinner technically. He is the A in the A-list couple. So it may have been Will who cheated first. It may have been Will who left first. But when I listen to it, it's almost like they're putting the entire blame on Jada. You weren't happy. You stepped out. I was okay with it. We were separated during the time. And it's all these trigger words, and then they talking in circles, and nobody's really taking any accountability. Why the hell was y'all separated? What had happened that y'all broke up, and that she was so free to have this love relationship, that this boy is so in love with her, and they were spending every hour of the day with. What lady was you living with while she was living with August? It's so many things in this situation. And then they fist bumping and high-fiving. Ain't no emotion. Will look like he just pissed off that he got to deal with this when he could be somewhere making YouTube videos or something. Like, come on. Like, it's a mess. Oh, my God. This is fodder for days.
I absolutely agree. Can I explain my
I
comment?
might have to do a whole show on this. Okay, let me get. Okay, Jasmine, wait. Let me get Mr. Woods because this was his idea. Go ahead, Mr. Woods.
Y'all mad. No, I'm just playing. No. Look, I'm just being. Don't look. I'm just playing. But you know what? This is funny because this is something that we don't expect for people to do in their marriages. You feel what I'm saying? This is coming from a woman. You know what I'm saying? Which is usually not done. All the speculation, we can't. I'm pretty sure they did rehearse it because they're very, very private and things like that.
Bad married for life.
Yeah, like, but you know what I'm saying? Even if you go back and watch that Red Table Talk, Jada talked about how she really couldn't stand Will for some time now. You feel what I'm saying?
She didn't know him. Remember the one she said she didn't really know him?
Yeah, yep. That's all I'm saying. Everybody is upset that they came to the table, but you can't get mad at somebody for being private and then when they deliver their truth, that their truth is their truth. You know what I mean?
But as a public couple, honestly, some things you could just not speak on. Like with Jay-Z and Beyonce, it's been rumors out there for a long time that he got a kid, and all kind of rumors that he cheated or she cheated or whatever. Like I wouldn't say nothing. And I feel like it's their narcissism that causes them to come out and say, well, we can fix this by speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? We can fix it. And then Jada, I honestly think that remember everybody was already putting that picture out of Jada facing Jada and saying she better take herself to the Red Table Talk. And just like Will brought it up and said until Black Twitter got a hold of it. So to me, it's like they let social media pressure them into responding on something that should have been personal and private and whatever.
Right.
Because who gives a fuck if the relationship is over? If August Alsina want to write about it, write a book about it, do a tell-all about it, I would have just sat there and been like,
okay.
I wouldn't have confirmed it or denied. I would have been on about my business.
Right.
But also, you got to think of it too. Them talking about it is good for them because when nobody talk about them like that, you know what I'm saying? Like when nobody watch Red Table Talk, they probably got the highest views Red Table Talk ever got today in them little 12 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like she keep bringing people on. That's what Red Table Talk is. We talked about that with Jordan Woods and all of that. Like it's not to get the dirt. It's to fix whatever the celebrity wants to fix. It's to make the celebrity look better. So that's basically what she just did with her and Will. Like we didn't get no dirt. We didn't get no juice.
Right.
They just confirmed what everybody was thinking. You know, we was separating it, and then the way they said it, it just smoothed it over into a nice little bow. Well, technically, we wasn't even together at the time. We was apart. We was living apart. You know, so it's like, oh my God, it's such a PR move.
Can I speak now?
Okay,
come on, man.
Go ahead, Powerful.
Okay, so no, this is the thing. And the problem is, and I do agree with you, Michelle, that they rehearsed it. They rehearsed it, which is what they should have done. Because they're married and no matter what, they have to have that powerful front. But to answer your question, why were they separated? Because when Will went overseas to I forget what movie it was, he got caught in a hotel room by her.
Sis in the house.
Look,
now let her go. Let her go.
He got caught in the hotel room doing what?
With a young lady. So that was one of the reasons, and their marriage was already shaky to begin with. That was one of the reasons that they separated. Now it was several of them. Now, what I will say, I see them at the red table and I see them talking. Will is hurt. And one thing,
if he was cheating,
let me finish. One thing, let me tell you something. A man hurt worse than a woman. Okay. A man hurts worse than a woman. When that man gets hurt, he got to dig deep down inside of him. And you got to remember one thing. Those were two individuals that got together and they had a lot of baggage. Mm-hmm. They hadn't cleared up their previous baggage when they got together. And the most important thing, Marriage is a work in progress every damn day. I'm done.
I mean, I know that. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, let me add my 2 cents then.
Okay, go ahead, Alaka.
Back home, there's a saying, right? I'm gonna say it in my language and give you the translation because the only way I'll be able to translate it. They say, "Umkuwa seka seka umfuma lila lila," which basically means where there's a lot of laughter, someone ends up coming out crying. And so they went into this thing, I'm assuming open marriage type situation, right? Thinking, yeah, everything was going to be hunky-dory and expecting nothing to go wrong. And obviously, they never, I think, took into account the fact that no matter what you try to open yourself up to when it comes to relationship and involving a third party, basically, in your relationship, someone at some point is going to get hurt. Like, as much as some people try to say, oh, I'm not a jealous person, this and the other, it's likely one or the other is going to start feeling jealous at some point or another. And so even if they say they were broken up and they've used all kinds of excuses to explain that away, right? I think Jada was definitely in last, and if she did sleep with him, there's a fact that she felt a certain attachment, because you know what happens to women when they sleep with men. And so obviously she had that attachment, and then August, he fell in love with her. You know, she was this sugar mama type of person that he was absolutely probably, you know, doting over her and everything. Do you know what I mean? He probably completely and utterly adored her. And so Will obviously ended up getting hurt. And if Will cheated before, that was probably Jada's way of saying, you know what, after all, he did that, so I'm actually free to go ahead and do this as well. But I think they've just opened up this kind of worms that they shouldn't have opened up in the first place, in the sense that they should have stuck to what their actual vows were. Unless their vows actually said, I don't know, to have and to hold, including an open marriage or whatever it is that they decided on the marriage vow.
Look, personally, I don't even. I don't think.
Huh?
Oh, I was just saying, I don't even believe in open marriages. I don't think there's.
I don't believe in that, because someone will get hurt at some point or another. Someone will get hurt, you know. And also, Kendra asked the question, say, what's it like back home? Back home, it's a whole different. It's basically like a telenovela back home. Like, husbands would cheat and they'll have all these side pieces, and to the point where the wife actually knows that he's got a side piece, but they want to hold on to the fact that they're married because society sees them as married, and that's what they kind of hold on to give off to society, to the point where if the husband is late coming home, she actually calls the side girl going, where is he? What time is he coming home? Like, that's how bad it is. The whole sugar daddy, sugar mommy thing is such a big thing back home. It's disgusting, you know, but they've normalized it and it's horrible.
Okay,
but yeah,
let me answer Latricia's questions from my perspective. Latricia said, I'm truly not understanding right now. How is this relationship a representation of love? Love is in many forms. And when it comes to a marriage, the love aspect is staying committed to the relationship. It doesn't have anything to do about what she did outside the relationship, how they broke up and came back together. You know, all of those people who he may have cheated with or she may have cheated with, all of those people are outside that circle of love, outside of that ring. So that's where the love comes in. The love comes in with the forgiveness and the communication and the whatever the case may be. Like, if they're not keeping any secrets from each other, that's where the love comes in. That, like, he may be hurt because now it's out in the public, and now, you know, all these men looking at him like, you know, other man slept with his wife and all of that jazz. And, you know, because they're public figures, but at the end of the day, they both have said they're still married. They're still together. They have never wavered from that. So that's what I think, you know, as far as a representation of love. That's the ultimate. That's what everybody strives to be. All couples strive for that, whether, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. So what you think about their relationship doesn't matter. That's the point.
But if you remember, Will and Jada got married because Jada was pregnant. Do your research.
You know more than
they did. They got no.
I forgot all Jada when it's over. Jada girl, I set them straight. I told them.
That's the PR part.
No, let me tell you something. I love Will. It ain't about Jada. I love Will. So I'm in their business. but they got married because she was pregnant.
Oh wow. Okay.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. They got married because she was pregnant.
Okay, TJ, you back now. I saw you
And
in
they
there.
didn't want to have a child out wedlock.
You must have had something really important to say about this situation, since you was like, "Get me on."
Yeah, I do. I want you to get me on, but I wanted to hear Mr. Wood's perspective because I didn't get a chance to hear him. But listen, that whole thing that Jada was doing was really all damage control. I'm sorry. She was really trying to do damage control. She controlled the narrative of the conversation. If you notice the body language of Will, he kind of folded up his arms and sat back like, I can't say nothing. I can't say what I want to say. I can't get out what I want to get out. It looked to me.
I don't think that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
It looked to me like he was really hurt. And I honestly believe, I don't think they really had an agreement about this relationship. I feel like he was blindsided by it. And that's probably what made it racing for Jada. She felt like this was making her feel alive. It was making her feel like she was doing something that was brave and it was her own idea. I don't know. That's my perspective. And that's why I said bring me in, because my perspective is she got lost in who she was, trying to maybe please Will, and maybe she decided, you know, I'm not about that life.
I mean, it has been over 20 years. You know, it has been over 20 years. So, I mean, our relationships go through ups and downs and, you know, cheatings and, you know, discussions and, you know, whatever. So at the end of the day, like their relationship, it isn't any different from most. But like I was saying, like, you know, we were talking earlier, Mr. Woods, when, you know, like I would have respected more if they just wouldn't have said anything. Honestly, like, August is a non-factor. I don't care if he.
So you got to think about it like this. And God rest his soul, like forever and ever. You remember whenever Kobe got caught out there with that white girl, and his wife made him sit up there at a whole press conference, and we all was over here throwing rocks at him and looking at him like sideways. So again, it's different because it's something that we don't see often. You know what I mean? Like Will sitting up there, like we're men. This don't happen to us. We do the cheating. We do all of this type of stuff. Like our secrets are our secrets. So for him to have to sit up there as an attractive black man that everybody loves and around the world, and for him to hear that his wife went and got a young tender and made this young tender fell in love, he hurt by it. There's no way around it. And I mean, Will's in his 50s now. They both are. So I mean, it's just a different type of thing that I won't understand. I mean, I'm not in an open marriage or anything like that, but you could tell that he's embarrassed because she had to sit up here and talk about something that they probably already didn't talked about it. But because August Alsina has an album that came out and he had to push the envelope, he had to push that promotion to tell that part, to get people talking about it. Everybody does it. Everybody, every celebrity does it. It's propaganda to me. But again, Will did look embarrassed. They both looked embarrassed, to be honest with you.
Okay, can we go back to the Kobe part? I feel like Kobe spoke only because this was a lawsuit. She accused him of rape.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like they had to present a united front. He had to admit to his role in it, because had he not, you know, it was gonna come out in court anyway. Like the details of whatever happened. So that is kind of a different situation. This situation, it ain't no court case. Nobody knows nothing but what August is saying. So when I say he's a non-factor, he's the outside person in the relationship. Let him talk. I would have just let him talk and just would have sat there and gone on about my business, especially if the relationship is over, if, you know, y'all back together, if, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't know. It just seems, I don't know. It just seemed more self-serving than anything. Like perhaps
he should have signed an NDA.
Yeah.
This wouldn't have been happening.
Yeah.
But do you think they were just riding the train, Michelle? Because I think because they are really
Red Table Talk probably got more views than ever. Again,
I wouldn't be surprised if something comes out of this, like maybe a reality show or some type of documentary. Everybody's getting into reality TV. I know that these actors and actresses want to remain in the mainstream of acting, but they know that it's a lot of money in the reality TV world. It is just a lot of money in it. So do you think that that's what they're doing, is just kind of chasing their clout, their own clout?
I think that, you know, Red Table Talk is a FaceTime, I mean a Facebook show. And of course, you know, maybe, you know, Jada has bigger ambitions for her show. She could be the next Iyanla. She could bring like all the celebs on. They could talk about their relationship problems because she's been through it. She talked, you know, she faced it with her own man. So what better person to be that person than her?
But you can't do that unless you're gonna be honest. Because like, why even say anything? Or just keep it real, keep it a buck, or don't say nothing. Like,
so what was she supposed to say? Like,
we're in an open marriage.
But what if that's not true though?
Will, you got mad when I decided to have a relationship with this young man.
I wouldn't have said nothing.
Or say nothing. It's been over a week and nobody,
you know what I mean? Like, I just feel
more.
like when you discuss something like this, you open it up to discussion and debate and fodder and criticism. So I mean, now it's like people are gonna be looking at it sideways. People gonna be critiquing their body language. People gonna see them in public and be like, "Oh, he wasn't even holding her hand." People got like it just like, you know, I don't know. I just wouldn't have said
not because even though it was a big story,
everything
people
about
didn't believe it. Well, not everybody believed it, even though it was like a big story and it was entertaining. Not everybody believed it. It wasn't fact.
Right. And so they came out and confirmed it. I wouldn't have said nothing.
So y'all didn't believe August?
No, we believed it. I believed it.
Believe August.
He said it a year ago. He said it a year ago, so that's why I believe it.
Up there and say that.
I didn't. I always kind of think outside the box, and I'm like, well, maybe they were close and weren't as close.
Wow.
They were in the
I just say,
no, Jada whipped it on him.
Jada put it on him like
she did.
Now they confirmed it for you, Michelle.
He's a young man. He got some of that grown, mature,
not a young man,
very mature,
but
beautiful.
So why do you think they decided to say something now, DJ? I honestly think it was rehearsed and that it was like you say like, okay, and I'm sorry.
I kind of agree with you when you say that you think that it was rehearsed. It was rehearsed. But the real feelings, you can definitely see those play out on Will's face. He had to say what he was saying. And he really couldn't. That's what I was expressing, is that he really couldn't say what he really wanted to say, because when what has already been said is when men hurt, they hurt differently than women hurt. And usually, if you get a man to hurt, it's a deep hurt. I mean, it's like real deep. I mean, and I'm not saying that y'all women be hurting over surface stuff, and y'all have your own makeup and all that. I'm gonna let y'all women talk on you, but when a man hurt, it's like
DJ. I
like
said
no
that, and everybody was laughing at me.
But who cares about him being hurt when they were in an open marriage?
Well,
we can only speculate. We don't know for sure.
Well, we don't know. We don't know the boundaries of what their open marriage was or their agreement was. So maybe violating the agreement was the hurt.
Yeah. But
you understand what I'm saying? And anyway, at this point in time, for them to come out and start talking about it now, everything has been speculated all this time. I mean, for years. It's been speculated that they've had an open marriage, that they are dating other people, that they are open marriage, that they are swingers. I mean, the list goes on and on. Why now?
I feel like
why now?
You can get out of this table talk views.
Something
I think,
is
like
about
Michelle
to
said,
come.
it was damage control. It was damage control, and I think the real discussion happened before and after that table talk, because you could tell from the body language that there was crazy tension. I could feel the tension between them, and then a lot of us noticed that Will looked like he was literally crying. So that was kind of evident. Do you know what I mean? Because like I think he was holding back tears. Like I was looking at him and he was reminding me of what's that movie that made me cry my eyes out? The Pursuit of Happiness. You remember how sad he was in that movie? That was him in real life on that table talk.
Will is an actor.
That's biblical.
He's an
The
actor.
hurt and pain that man felt in that movie was the Will Smith, like literally brought it back to real life. You know what I mean? And
But
so
you
I think
cannot
his
act
face
that kind
was
of
not
hurt,
acting.
man.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's
It's something you got to really feel.
And it was
That's
DJ.
right.
look, y'all, it was 12 minutes and it was pre-recorded. So
Yeah.
my thing is whatever they put out, they wanted to put out. They approved it before
Yeah.
they, you
It
know.
was a good PR. They're very good with their PR. The Smiths are very, very good with their PR. You know, so they don't like to have people catch them kind of unawares. So they're really, really good with their PR. They know how to control their narrative. They want to control what the public sees about them. The only part I think where they thought they lost control when their kids were going a little bit crazy at some point, but that's it.
Okay.
And sometimes maybe the agreement was they don't want to know who the person is. Keep your side piece.
No, because August was hanging out with the family, so Will knew.
Okay.
No. Wait. I have a question for DJ.
Maybe what happened was she just decided he was the closest thing walking in her house. You don't
Exactly.
know. And then
Lord
developed a relationship for him. He was probably showing his man piece, walking around in joggers, and next thing you know,
DJ getting on my nerves.
Hold on. Reese.
DJ, I got a question for you, right? You done said when a man hurt, he really hurt about 10 times. I'm counting over here, right? Ilaka spoke about her hometown, as in back home, right? That women have consoled themselves to the point where they're even sharing, right? I just want to ask you, do you think that the hurt is different for women because we've gotten so accustomed to it that we've consoled ourselves?
Yes.
That we hurt less?
That's a great
I
question.
really think I've already kind of talked on that, was that it is much different. It really is. When a man hurts, it's much deeper. It goes way deep. It goes real, and it could be something as small as that one thing breaking the covenant, whatever they decided upon.
So when you say that, in my head, I'm picturing the fact that Will is mad that Jada put it on this young man so well that he had to publicly speak about it. So he exceptionally hurt because this young man can't let Jada go. So that's what we're talking about, that it really hurts. That's what
I think, if I may be able to interject for a second.
Please go for it.
Let me interject for a second, because I see what DJ is talking about. You know what I mean? We're focused right now. We're focusing just on the hurt of embarrassment, but there's a lot more types of hurt. You know, because like you say, he's a man. This man is frustrated. He's embarrassed, and he got to, let's face it, he got to switch up his whole repertoire now. He got to change up his whole operation of how he was doing things, and so does she. Like, it's a lot going on now. So now it's like, what's next with these people? And so when you say when he's saying he's hurt on multiple avenues. Not only just is he embarrassed, in front of other black men, but there's a lot in there, like a lot of inner hurt that he's not addressing. And that's all I had to say.
Okay.
And then if you think about it, like with women, y'all have prized possessions. Like, Michelle, you got your shoe closet. I guarantee you there's some shoes in there that you ain't gonna let nobody touch, right? But if a good girlfriend comes along that rubs you the right way, you might let her wear them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the man, you don't do is you don't mess up the prized possession.
Okay.
And we don't want to. I'm just speaking for me. If I was in an open relationship, I would say I don't want to see your indiscretions. I don't want to know about them. Do you? And I think maybe if that was the case, there was a true violation. And I think that's what we were saying. I don't want to keep siding on Will's side because I know that it takes two. Will was doing his deal. But in this particular case, it really was Jada violating that trust. You could see it all over his face.
At least that's what they want us to believe, because Will is like I told you, like when I saw it, it just gave me that, you gonna take the heat for this because it's your person speaking out. So Will looks like
and that's how I took
the
it.
situation when Jada said in the thing, like they had been separated, they were going through it or whatever. Like, so clearly it was some issues within them both, but he didn't bring his issues to the table. We don't know if Will cheated or not because it's his.
We do.
Is you know what I'm saying? It's his image that needs protecting, actually.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
like you said, he's the breadwinner,
so
they have to kind of maintain that status quo.
he's still coming out of this situation clean as a whistle. He's still coming out of this situation looking like the victim. They were doing all this behind my back, and I'm hurt, and or whatever the case may be.
But you know what, Michelle? Can I say this?
I feel like that's the way they crafted it.
Can I submit this though?
Yeah.
What real man will allow his woman to take the fall? I don't know that he wanted her to take the fall. I think that she just had to take it because this was
That's
her.
the point. Like her person spoke out.
Yeah, it was August who came out and said something. So Will wasn't sleeping with him. She was sleeping with him.
Right.
So, but what I'm saying is that I think Will was hurt, but I don't think he was just like boo-hoo over it because he knew what was going on. And y'all seen those pictures. August was around the family, y'all.
He sure was. Thank you, Jazzy.
So I'm
he
just
sure was. He was present.
Don't fall for that BS.
And they
come on. Now, some of
comments.
us men can be very, very stupid. It could be right there in our face.
DJ.
And it's dead in our house.
DJ,
and we don't even know what's going on.
They have an agreement.
They have made comments openly about not even being in the same wing of the house. Fams, like you said about prized possession. If you have, how many times we seen Michelle go into that closet? A whole lot. Because I be peeping at the shoes too. If you have prized possessions, you at least keep them in your eyesight. At least. They have disclosed many a times that they're not even in the same wing of whatever house they are at. So come on now. I'm with Jazzy, hands down. Jazzy, you got this in the bag.
I'm just being honest.
You guys think that they what if they changed? Like, you understand what I'm saying? What if they've grown past that? What if they're
that's what I think. I think they have, and I think he kind of opened old wounds by speaking on it and them to kind of confront whatever the issues were. Because if she said, they were separated, she had this relationship, and so it's like, again, what's the point in speaking?
Well, then they should have shut up.
Listen, Ruby and Ozzy had an open relationship until Ruby said, "Okay, I've had enough. We can't do this no more," and they stopped.
But I don't like how it's almost like they was trying to blame.
I got them.
It's almost like they was trying to blame August for being in his feelings and then like put it on Jada, and Will just sat there all pristine and like he ain't had nothing to do with it. Like he could have came out and been like, yeah, we agreed to have an open marriage or blah, 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 and we were going through some things. But it was, and y'all keep using this word cheat. They're not cheating on each other. I guess if you're in an open marriage, do you consider that cheating?
It depends on the
matter of opinion.
It depends on what kind of, like DJ said, it depends on what kind of open marriage they had.
Because
it depends on what kind of open marriage they have. And who they may have had an open marriage and they may not have it anymore. This is something that happened. They're talking about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And maybe Jada didn't realize how bad she hurt that young man.
But that's what I'm saying.
Maybe she didn't realize how much she hurt that young man.
But that's what I'm saying with Jada too. Jada should have kept it real too and been like, yeah, we was in a relationship. Because her and August were most likely in a relationship.
But she did.
She did explain the rules properly to him. I think when he got into it, he had no idea, what the rules were. Maybe because I think
exactly
the reason he probably even came out with it now is because he probably felt used and abused and just chucked to the side.
Yeah, cast aside. Yeah,
and that's why you shouldn't be messing with grown men.
Exactly. You are 100%, DJ.
Right.
Because
we gonna wrap this up. We done turned this into the Jada Pinkett show. Let me stop. Let's let Absolutely Amazing come through for a minute. Hey girl. I can't hear you. Can y'all hear her?
No.
Okay, Absolutely Amazing. We can't hear you, girl. I don't know what's going on. I don't even see your little thing moving. Hang up and call back or not.
Will
so
going
my
through a
turn.
midlife crisis.
What happened? What'd you say, Jezebel?
It was good
Will
talking
going
to
through
y'all.
a
I'm gonna go
midlife
back in the
crisis.
comments.
That could be true. That could be true.
I think so
Midlife
too,
crisis.
because yes, because if you guys follow him through
He
this whole
was?
COVID, no,
Yeah, he was.
I'm saying mentally and physically, if you followed him through COVID and the pandemic, he looks like the fact that he had to be home
Mm-hmm.
did something mentally to him. He looks tore
Mm-hmm.
up, he looks drained. At one point he was looking high every day. It's been a lot for him. Like you could see it on his body physically. And like my friend at the top said, I follow Will because I'm a Fresh Prince baby, so I follow Will. And like this pandemic has drained him mentally and physically. I think that brother been high a couple of days, plenty.
He was high today.
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that.
Somebody said that.
Well, he's been going through it for the past year and a half, and I think with when you're used to on the move, and then everything shuts down, that takes a toll on you anyway. That takes a toll on you anyway, because he has had to go from maybe being home 2 months out of the year to now being shut down for at least 4 to 5 months, and they just got shut down again.
I told you that's the narcissism. That's why all these celebrities coming out with all this tomfoolery because
and he was and keep in mind, August Alsina was on the Red Table Talk. If y'all don't remember,
I was trying
he was, and that's when he was telling about when he was on the Red Table Talk. He was talking about his addiction and how Jada helped him get over that addiction, and she helped him to find a therapist, which he's still going to.
She gave him a new addiction, though.
Listen, the bottom line is, they had an affair. His feelings was in it more than hers. I believe she cared for him. I believe she liked him a lot.
Yeah, I think so too.
He was in love with her. He still is in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he wasn't, he wouldn't have put this on Front Street. He would have left it where it was. But I think she's realizing now how much she hurt him. She hurt him down to the white meat. That's how bad she hurt him.
I hear you.
But before you go, Michelle.
Yeah, well, hold on, y'all. Let's hear what Jazzy has to say. Yes, go.
Okay, before y'all go, Will might be nervous about. I don't know if Will is gay or not. I don't really care. But the thing with Tisha Campbell Martin and all of that, and Dwayne Martin, he might be stern in his mind about that too. I don't know what's going on with that. If it's true, if it's not true, whatever. So it's like they didn't address that.
Nah, I don't think those people on that level.
Anything that had to do with Will.
Well, they didn't address Will. Period. Really, they. But I'm just saying. I wonder what he thinks about that. About those.
Nah, I think the people that Will has, let's say, allegedly messed with are all in the understanding of what those conversations look like.
Yeah.
Like August was young. So he didn't, it's like, okay, for instance, remember when Tiffany Haddish first blew up and then she started talking about Beyonce, and Beyonce and Jay-Z doubled down and was like, sign this NDA. Like, we can't stop you from showing up at things, but you gonna sign this NDA. That's what's happening with August now. You understand? Like, okay, you in the midst of stuff, we need you to sign an NDA. The people that Will allegedly interacted with on that level already knows. Like, we're not putting none of this Front Street. We need to keep our, image pristine. So Will doesn't have that necessary concern unless somebody within their circle is going to be like messy, petty, malicious, and out. You know what I'm saying? And if they do out him, they're going to have to come with several layers of receipt.
Well, I think Tisha Campbell, she's sitting on a bomb, but she just don't want to say nothing.
Yeah.
Say nothing.
No, but she's in a different place right now too, because I'll be watching her on her live. She's in a different place right now too. She's not even trying to be that messy person at this stage in her life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Dwayne did her really wrong, so you never know.
He did.
Might get a little petty in her and come on now.
We're not gonna put that in the atmosphere, Jazz. We're gonna live and let live. We're gonna live and let live.
But she may not want to. She may want to hurt him, but may not want to hurt other people involved.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another point of view.
That's probably why she's keeping that on wraps. But I don't think that, just my personal. I don't think Will's gay. If he is, that's his thing. Don't have no problem with that. But the thing of huh?
What you say? I'm there.
But the thing of it is, he's dealing with people that have as much to lose as him, so they'll keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have an understanding of what's going on and what should be said, how it should be said, and when it should be said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's a hierarchy, and he's on the top, and they trickling down, and they know to shut up.
Okay.
Of whatever's going on.
Shout out to Gina.
You see what somebody said about Tupac. Jada had the same type of relationship with Tupac, and Will said in the interview, Will had to come to grips with their relationship because he didn't like how their relationship was, and he said that. He said,
but they didn't. But they were not intimate. They were not intimate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what she said.
No. Pac said that too. They were not intimate.
Yeah.
They were not intimate. He said that. I wasn't listening to Jada. I was listening when Pac talked about her. He said they did not have an intimate relationship.
Okay. And a few people have attested to that too. A few females have attested to the fact that as they know, they have never hooked up.
But they was uncomfortable about their friendship or their relationship. He felt some type of way about it. He said he felt some type of way.
It made him uncomfortable. It made him uncomfortable.
Well, all right.
Because
we're not gonna rehash everything else. I'm trying to end this.
Bye, y'all.
We never know. That's life. We just come on, Michelle.